So hi guys, this is my second game of the last chance qualifier in Amsterdam. This time I have played against Cryx Coven and I use my Haley3 list against it. So I see Coven a lot on tournaments, and my thoughts about it were he's got his feat denial, that I can only target items or models within 5 inches, or my loss is 5 inches, but my deny is every turn I can do a cloud wall turn by turn, so I think I am ahead up there. So we talk about the models a bit, and then I start deploying my forces. I have chosen to go first, because Haley3 likes to go first to summon echoes so they can do some work early on. And as you see, I'm deploying Alexa on the left flank, the snipers on the flanks, and the Jax in the middle, and Haley also in the middle. And my opponent deploys his forces. His Jax are in advanced deployment, and then I deploy my trenchers and grenadier. So this is all adding up to wasting my time on things that I should have prepared. But anyway, Haley goes first, and I put tactical supremacy and temporal distortion, and I call echoes. Then I pre-measure the clouds. His checks are so far ahead, and they can go pretty far, so I don't want them charging early on. So I go and make clouds, and then reposition. And my grenadier goes in, and I run up the rest of my forces so they are closer to the cloud. Alexa creates a trowel that stays in the trench. And generally just the stuff just runs up and takes positions. Arcane Shield goes on a Haley unit. And that was my turn. So now my opponent goes. He just positions his Jax safely behind cover. So the cloud from the objective is placed. So it is between the objective and the wood. So I don't have line of sight. And then on the right flank, Satix's riders go. They skew far to the right side, just to probably later on in the game block me out of the zone. His zone is placed pretty well defensively. There is a building and a wood protecting it. In my zone there is a hill just behind it. So his forces just take positions and cover behind the cloud and behind the wall and behind behind the building, and then time goes to me. So Anastasia shows up, and her target will be to kill Satix's Raider Sea Witch. That will help me later to deal with the Satix's Raiders. And my I pressure my cloud so the trenchers can place the cloud, and so I can move my army before the rest of the before I place the cloud. Unfortunately, there is not much for me to do. Most of his stuff is out of range or in cover or hidden behind the cloud, so it will be just a little shooting, and most of my stuff will just advance and hide behind the cloud. So allocation is done. Anastasia goes and charges the witch, and she hits her and kills her with single blow. So with that she paid for herself, and riders will be a bit easier to deal with. So I activate my Haley unit. They spread out to spread the temporal distortion effect, and Haley future shoots Jack behind the clouds because she has a true sight, or the unit has a true sight thanks to her, and I do a bit of damage to the Jack, not too much, and then my captain also shoots and does some damage. And my charger advances and tries to shoot Jack behind the cover, and even manages to do a bit of damage. He hits with one of the shots. Then the second Jack repeats that, and also hit and done some damage. So pretty good. Unfortunately, the rest of my army will be probably out of range. I just wonder what to do with Art and Ashley. And I activate my sniper. Sniper walks up and kills the repair guy behind, and then repositions back. One was quite surprised because the sniper has 18 inches of range with snipe. And Junior just repositions, and Grenadier will try to do some lucky scatter. Unfortunately, the scatter fell short of the witches, so no luck there. And 3 focus I gave him is wasted because I didn't position my trenches right for that reload. And my sniper shot went, but he missed. Then I run my trials just to block a bit Satix's Raiders, and end of the turn comes and my trenchers go and make clouds. And now it's my opponent's turn. So I guess this round my opponent will try to attack some of my forces. Probably he will feed as well, so my counter or my alpha is blunted. So we'll see how it will go. So first his Archnode runs into the cloud so you can see what's on the other side. There is a proxy base that will be egregore to feed. You measure the feed range, and then the spell arc through the node didn't do anything. Then his Jack, I think with the Ghost Walk, goes through the wood and into the cloud and starts attacking my forces and killed my trencher and then retreated. And this continues. Another Jack and another trencher dead. So I'm defense 15 right now, but he's boosting his attacks. Although he's got some poor rolls, he's still removing my trenchers. So I at least hope that my retaliation will be heavy, so I will remove some of his jacks. So his heavy one-shots my objective, which is not very good. So he will be up on scenario 1 point for getting into my zone, and second point for destroying the objective. So I didn't put enough forces on the right side, the right flank, so I'll have to put some models contesting and hopefully kill as much of his jacks as possible. And the statistics raiders killed the trolls, which was easy to suspect, but at least they were blocked in their spot for a round, so that wasn't completely wasted. So my forces are under Coven's feet, so my line of sight is now 5 inches, but still my jacks can walk up and shoot, and they're pretty efficient, and his light jacks are pretty soft, so at least I'm pretty confident I can destroy most of the lights. Heavies, unfortunately, probably I will have to deal with another round. So I pre-measure where should Haley future be to get to one of his lights. I don't want his lights to jump to Haley Prime. So fifth turn of Coven takes some of my time to solve. I will try to it's only lights to deal with, so I'll try to deal with them without feeding, and when it will be time to deal with heavies, I will feed them. And during that, my rolls and attacks of Haley went so poorly that I decided I have to feed to at least destroy that one light that is here, and it's I spent all stack, all 6 focus, and I didn't even manage to kill that one stalker there. So it Haley passed, so unfortunate with dealing with stalker. I now try with Haley future. She shoots another stalker, and because it was damaged last round, she took him out. So this time it's better rolling, and I also take down machine rate. I think that was. Then Alton Ashley charges and finishes off the stalker that Haley could not take out, and that was pretty good. So my charger activates and shoots the arc node, but I rolled pretty poorly and did not manage to do much. Then my trenchers activate, and well, some of them will try to jam his zone, and some will try to put some attacks on the arc node. And my trenchers, charging and assaulting trenchers actually managed to do some damage to the arc node and removed it. Then Alexia activates, she puts Reason in front of her and she stays in the trench. And then my charger activates and wants to finish the stalker. He boosts his boost to hit, and then he boosts damage and removes the second stalker. And then my sniper just shoots the heavy and puts 3 damage on it and repositions. So now I did spread out my forces a bit around the zone, so he will have to make some decisions. We'll see if he'll be able to remove everything. And my trenchers reposition. My jack also gets in the zone, so I try to jam the zone as far as possible. I don't want him to score in his turn, so to make it as hard as possible for him. So I managed to remove 3 stalkers and his arc node, and he still has Breadroom and Death Reaper, so 2 heavies. They are both pretty dangerous. So we'll see how it goes. His Ayakos moves forward. He's got jump, so he will try to take out my sniper, but luckily sniper has defense 14, so it won't be so easy. And Haley has now, thanks to temporal distortion, with defense 18, so it will not be so easy for his heavy to kill her, but he has to go for it if he wants to clear the zone. She is towing the zone. There are 2 light jacks, 2 chargers in there as well, and a trencher, so I guess I'm pretty safe up there. So Haley goes with the first hit, unfortunately, so the defense bubble unfortunately disappeared. Alton Ashley also died. There is some damage on my charger, and 1 charger goes. So pretty good damage from that heavy. Then the machine right goes and moves my charger and tries to attack my trencher, but I tough, so that was pretty good move on his part. So right now I was pretty sure I will keep this zone safe, but right now I've got just one knockdown trencher and one sniper in holding the zone. And he's thinking if he should send his heavy there to finish the trencher off. But I think it's too far. Because he cannot charge me, because he cannot see me over the wood. So he activates one of his witches, and the Jack received the ghost walk. And he attacked my trencher and my Jack and done some damage to the Jack. Luckily he didn't have a range to down trencher. The egregore and the witches move base to base to each other, so they are stealth right now. And then the Satixis riders charge the reason, and some of them charge my jacks. And the rest runs. So the reason die quickly, as they usually do. And then the witches they attack my jack, doing some damage, minimal, but also there is a feedback that goes to my caster, which is much more painful. So I will have to deal with those raiders pretty soon. And then it's my turn. So I'm pressured pretty much, so I will not be able to deal with to summon Haley past, and I think that Haley Prime will have to do some work on her own as well. So I start off easy, and my sniper shoots the heavy for 3 damage. Then my second sniper does the same, doing also 3 damage to heavy. And then I have to use my Haley's. So Haley advances and she shoots the heavy with her gun and does some damage as well. And then Ragman activates his death field. And my Jack goes. He's within Ragman's death field, and he'll try to finish off the heavy. He boosts damage, and it's enough to remove the heavy completely, and he also removes the machine right. So my other Jack will try to attack Red Room. but the first attack missed. And then second hit, and then third hit, and I done some more damage to the heavy, but I did not remove it. So then Gunmage Captain Adept went into the combat. He's a gunfighter, so he shot the Jack as well, marking it with the flare, so it's easier to hit. And then Alexia walks up. She shot with the boost and done tons of damage on that heavy. No, first my trenchers go and try to remove some of the witches, and also two of the trenchers try to attack the heavy. And does minimal damage or no damage, and the second shot removed the heavy. So I cleared almost whole right flank. There is only Ayakos left, and on the left flank I've got Satix's Raiders left, a bunch of them. So now I just have to kill all the Satix's Raiders and score points, or kill the caster, which is the Coven. It's pretty difficult. But the real problem is that I'm down on time, and my opponent is actually much better with his clock. So now it's his turn. Ayakos kills one sniper, and luckily he will not be able to score here. As much problematic as possible to score. I don't want to kill the objective before I remove the Satix's Raiders, because the objective is not making any problems to me right now, and I don't want to waste any attacks that I can put to the Raiders. I don't want to put those attacks anywhere else. So my opponent measures up the range, maximum range of Haley future, so he can escape outside of it. Unfortunately, because I'm down on clock, and he can just try to stay out of my threat and do faster turns than me. And he will be fine. So one of the witches advances, and she casts an offensive spell on the Gunmage Captain Adept and kills him. Then Egregor moves. He measures the Veil of Mist, where he should place it to cover himself. And one of the Satix's or few of the statistics go after Alexia, and the rest will try to deal with my trenchers and my jacks. This is more or less attrition game at this point. We don't we cannot score on scenario, either of us, so it's just who will attrition better and faster, because time is an issue. So Haley is she receives already a couple of boxes from feedback, so those statistics really have to go right now. So there is fighting going on between the Satexis and the trenchers, and I managed to roll some tough, but still two of my trenchers died up there. And then Alexia dies to the Satexis, and it's my turn. So I'm trying to be speedy about my turn. I don't have so much time left, and I've got a lot of mobiles to remove. Enemy here. So my junior removed one Satexis, Haley Prime shoots another one, and Haley Future will try to shoot some of them up in the zone. Then my jacks advance, and I attrition my opponent. Then my trenchers go, but they didn't do much. The reason combined attack on one of the Satexis in the back, and then my jack removes another Satexis raider. So it looks pretty well on attrition side. Unfortunately, I think I have like 3 minutes left on my clock, or maybe even less right now. So he's got like 4 Satexis left, Ayakos, and a few of and the caster, or 3 casters, however you want to call it. And of course they try to run, or they run from me, and try to stay in stealth. They cast spells, so removing my jack from the zone. And Satexis charges and attacks Haley, but it was too little damage to kill it, and then the other Satexis kills my trencher, and then Ayakos goes and jumps and kills my sniper. And then the caster runs. So it's really starting to be quite hectic right now. Haley goes and shoots Ayakos. She boosted damage and she killed him with one shot. And Haley passed, moved, and removed 2 2 of the suffixes. My jack removed the other 2 and I contest the zone, my own zone, but right now my clock looks terrible. So my opponent has like 1 suffixes and he switches and he runs behind the building, and I'm left with like I can remember some very low clock, and I just remove the rest of his force and put the clock to him. And now I've got like 15 seconds, and really we just shake our hands because it's impossible to kill him in such a low time. So I clocked myself. I have to rethink the approach of attrition game. Probably the playing faster is one of the things. Not spending so much time in the tank is one of the things that I should do. I feel felt pretty good in that game, because in the end I had enough forces to win this game. Just the time was an issue.